Have you ever felt confused by your ex's silence? When they suddenly avoid all contact, a series of questions echo in your mind. What are they thinking? How can they let go so easily? Or do they still have something they can't say? Those mixed emotions are not unique to you. Many people have been in similar situations, feeling hurt, lost, and unsure of what to do next. But behind that avoidance, there may be stories and emotions that you never expected. Continue with us to decipher their state of mind, discover the real reasons, and find ways for you to strongly overcome this difficult period. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to not miss useful content about love, psychology, and the art of emotional connection. The no-contact avoidance situation happens when an ex or someone who was once close to you suddenly cuts off all communication. They don't reply to texts, calls, don't interact on social media, and even try to avoid seeing you in person. This can leave you feeling hurt, anxious, or questioning your self-worth. However, this behavior isn't always a deliberate ghosting. In psychology, communication avoidance often stems from two main forms. Anxiety avoidance. They feel overwhelmed with complex emotions like sadness or anger and choose to cut off contact to protect themselves. Rejection avoidance. They fear getting hurt or feeling like a failure in the relationship, believing that silence is a way to protect their self-esteem. This behavior doesn't reflect your worth, but is often their way of coping with their own turbulent emotions. Understanding this helps you avoid self-blame and instead focus on self-care rather than getting caught up in a spiral of negative emotions. Their silence is a manifestation of their own unresolved emotional wounds. To better understand this wall of silence, we need to explore what's really going on inside the minds of those who choose to avoid contact. Their emotional journey after a breakup is a complex maze, with many twists, turns, and pitfalls. Number 1. The silent emotional stages of an avoidant expectant during no contact. When a relationship ends, silence often becomes a curtain veiling unresolved emotions. Beneath a seemingly calm exterior, your ex is actually going through a turbulent inner journey. This journey is especially complex for those with an avoidant attachment style, a term in psychology referring to people who tend to build invisible walls around their hearts as a way to protect themselves from getting hurt. We can divide the emotional journey of the avoidant during no contact into two main types, corresponding to two common avoidance styles: dismissive avoidant and fearful avoidant. First, let's delve into the dismissive avoidant individuals who typically experience a complex emotional journey after a relationship ends. This journey, according to psychologists Amir Levine and Rachel Heller, 2010, in their book Attached, is divided into several characteristic stages. Initially, they may display an excitement about the separation, as if relieved of a burden of responsibility and enjoying newfound freedom. You might see them posting cheerful pictures on social media, engaging in many social activities, or even starting new hobbies with enthusiasm. However, according to Fraley and Shaver, 1998, this is just an outer shell, a defense mechanism that helps them hide the deeper emotions simmering within. Like a hedgehog puffing up its spines for protection, they erect a strong wall to block out hurt and maintain a sense of control. The next stage is marked by the emergence of suppressed emotions, like undercurrents surging beneath the ocean's surface. They fall into a vortex of conflict between the desire to appear strong and independent and the reality that they cannot completely detach from the influence of the past relationship. You might notice them becoming quieter, less talkative, or exhibiting erratic behaviors like easily getting angry or feeling sad for no apparent reason. They may try to re-suppress these emotions by burying themselves in work, other activities, or even seeking a new relationship, but these are merely attempts to avoid genuine emotional engagement, a way to maintain a safe distance from others and avoid dependency. They enter the moving on phase with a desire to escape uncomfortable emotions. However, instead of facing and healing, they seek fulfillment from new relationships, often with people who resemble you, as a way to recreate a sense of familiarity and safety. This inadvertently creates a loop, causing them to continuously jump from one relationship to another without truly addressing the core issue, the fear of intimacy and commitment. Finally, when the noise of life subsides, when you have created enough distance and no longer pose a threat to their defense system, nostalgia and belated confrontation truly emerge. At this point, they can look back at the relationship more objectively, remember the beautiful moments, and perhaps even regrets. They may contact you again, send cryptic messages, or show unexpected concern. However, remember that this is not always a sign of real change. They may just be seeking temporary comfort or trying to fill a void within themselves. The behavior of a dismissive, avoidant individual can be confusing, hurtful, and sometimes feel like abandonment. However, it's crucial to understand that these stages do not reflect your worth or the quality of the relationship. Instead, they demonstrate how they try to cope with their own emotions, a journey fraught with conflict and difficulty. Next, let us delve into the inner world of individuals with an anxious, avoidant attachment style. During the no-contempt phase, they embark on an intense inner journey, akin to a pendulum swinging relentlessly between two opposing poles, anxiety and avoidance. Psychologists Levine and Heller, 2010, suggest that this conflict stems from insecure attachment experiences during childhood, where they simultaneously craved closeness and feared getting hurt. Initially, they enter a state of complete freeze, suppressing the intense emotions surging within them. Like a wounded animal licking its wounds in the dark, they isolate themselves from the outside world, creating a protective shell to block out painful emotions. They may resort to negative behaviors such as alcohol abuse, casual dating, or even reckless sexual encounters as a means to numb their emotions and escape the emptiness gnawing at them from within. These behaviors are manifestations of anxious avoidance, a coping strategy to deal with the fear of abandonment and disconnection. The repression cannot last indefinitely. Pent-up emotions begin to surface like scorching lava erupting from a simmering volcano. They oscillate between anxiety and avoidance, between a desire for closeness and a fear of being hurt. They might convince themselves they are no longer in love, yet the tidal waves of emotion coursing through them betray this lie. This is often when memories of the relationship resurface, stirring feelings of longing, regret, and a yearning to reconnect. The emotional pendulum swings most violently during this stage. They are torn between the fear of abandonment, manifesting in clinging behaviors like constant texting or calling, and the fear of losing freedom, driving them to become cold, distant, or even disappear without explanation. Their behavior becomes unpredictable and contradictory, leaving their partner confused and hurt, as if trapped in an emotional labyrinth with no escape. Bartholomew and Horowitz, 1991, described this as a vacillation between two internal working models: the anxious model, which seeks security in relationships, and the avoidant model, which craves independence and freedom. At this stage, they attempt to move on, but it is not genuine progress. It is another form of emotional suppression. Like a weary traveler after a long journey, they feel exhausted by their inner conflict, drained from hurting both others and themselves. Overwhelmed by fears of inadequacy and guilt over causing pain to their partner, they opt to create distance, retreating into their safe shell. They might throw themselves into work, seek out new hobbies, or even start another relationship to fill the void. However, these are temporary measures to evade confronting their true emotions. Once they find peace in solitude, they enter a cycle of nostalgia. Memories of the past relationship flood back, like slow-mashing reels, evoking longing, regret, and questions about whether they made the right decision. However, this nostalgia is rarely strong enough to draw them back. They tend to idealize the past, search for their ex in new relationships, and fall into a vortex of comparisons, setting unrealistic standards, leading to disappointment, breakups, and a continuation of the painful, anxious avoidant loop. Understanding the complex emotional journey of an anxious avoidant individual not only fosters empathy and tolerance, but also helps you protect yourself from unnecessary hurt. Remember, their avoidance is not a reflection of your worth, but a battle with their inner demons and unresolved wounds from the past. Recognizing what an avoidant partner is going through is the first step to addressing the situation effectively. However, understanding alone is not enough. You need to take specific actions to safeguard yourself and move forward on your own path. So, When faced with silence and avoidance from an ex-partner, what should you do? Number 2. Effective ways to cope with avoidance. When faced with the avoidant attachment tendencies of an ex-partner, the initial emotions you may feel are pain, confusion, or even an urge to do everything possible to break the silence. However, it's crucial to pause, take a deep breath, and recognize that rushing to re-establish contact might complicate matters further. Respecting their space is not only a sign of maturity, but also an opportunity to focus on yourself. Remember, their avoidance is not necessarily a reflection of your worth or the quality of your past relationship. Rather, it is often their way of managing their own emotions. During this time, self-care is essential. Instead of focusing on things beyond your control, such as their emotions and actions, redirect your energy toward healing and personal growth. Engage in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. Take up a hobby, exercise, or spend quality time with friends and family who provide safety and love. This journey of self-care not only aids in your recovery, but also strengthens your self-esteem, a crucial aspect during this phase. Acceptance is a key part of coping with avoidance. Their silence may make you feel abandoned, but it is not a measure of your value. Accepting that their avoidance is their issue, not yours, will help free you from self-blame or feelings of rejection. Remember, you are not responsible for fixing someone or persuading them to change their behavior. Instead, focus on creating balance and peace within your own heart. If there's an opportunity to reconnect in the future, establish clear boundaries from the start. A healthy relationship cannot thrive on ambiguity or unspoken expectations. Ensuring both parties understand each other's feelings, desires, and limits is the best way to rebuild any relationship, whether it's a friendship or romantic partnership. Don't hesitate to seek support from loved ones or professional counselors. The pain of avoidance isn't something you have to endure alone. Sharing your feelings with friends, family, or a therapist can provide valuable insights and guidance tailored to your situation. Healing is a journey, not a destination. Each small step, from embracing acceptance to seeking help and rebuilding confidence, brings you closer to inner peace and strength. Use this time to focus on yourself, not only to overcome the pain, but to become stronger, more confident, and ready for a future where you are in control of your own story. Their silence is not your end, it is the beginning of a new chapter, where you reclaim your life on your terms. Facing the avoidant tendencies of someone who once held great importance in your life is not just an emotional challenge, but also an opportunity to gain deeper self-awareness, understand how you love, and learn to overcome past hurts. None of us are born equipped to handle silence or avoidance effortlessly, but that doesn't mean you have to endure this pain alone. The path to healing isn't easy, but every small step, from accepting the situation to seeking support and rebuilding confidence, leads you closer to a stronger and happier version of yourself. Remember, you deserve a love that is not only about attachment, but also about true companionship. If this article has helped you better understand your emotions and how to face difficult situations, please share it to spread empathy to others who may be experiencing similar feelings. Together, we can create a supportive community where everyone has the chance to be heard, understood, and healed. And don't forget to follow us for more insightful articles about love, psychology, and overcoming life's challenges. The next story might be exactly what you need to continue your journey.